As I've said, vocabulary is half the battle when we learn about how to optimize Oracle database performance and perform tuning to make sure that our system is running as efficiently as possible. Specifically, let's look at these terms quickly. First, we have a bottleneck. Think of a glass bottle. The body of the bottle is much thicker than the neck, right? So that's our metaphor. A bottleneck in Oracle performance tuning nomenclature is simply an area where resource contention is highest. It's an area of the system, and it could take multiple forms, as we'll get into more and more as we work through the course, but is producing a slowness. And of course, that's going to affect your application. That's going to make your users unhappy and result in support tickets. If you have service level agreements, it could cost you some money contractually. So we definitely want to find these bottlenecks and fix them. Throughput is defined as work per unit time. And again, that has specific metrics on different subsystems of a computer. There's network throughput, there's disk I/O, and then of course there's transactions per second. There's database specific statistics that we need to consider. The response time is formally given as the time to complete a given workload. Workload comes up a lot. The term workload refers to a particular set of tasks that are related. You might have a line of business app that does loan origination for real estate, and there may be a workload for creating a loan. There may be another workload for your business analysts who are performing OLAP or online analytical processing. You might have a third workload of, in your public-facing database application, users registering and running queries against your data. So it's important to characterize the kinds of traffic that Oracle is dealing with so that you can look at baselines and deviations from those baselines to see where there are problems and how we can fix them. Speaking of baselines, a baseline is a representation of system performance. And the Oracle performance tuning system relies heavily on this notion of baselines. And your baseline is going to be a period of time that's going to capture not just your high usage, but also your low usage. It's meant to give you a picture of your normal running system. And then what's cool is that as the automatic workload repository in ADDM makes snapshots of that environment, in other words, just a historical record, you can actually overlay those individual snapshots against your baseline in order to compare and actually see differences of performance and differences of workload, differences of reliability. You see, what we're going to have as a general trend here is the idea of taking our hunch. In other words, gee, this system seems like it's slow. These transactions seem like they're taking a lot longer to complete than they should. We have users complaining. Those are fairly subjective thoughts, right? But when we actually can generate statistics and then generate graphs based on those hard statistics, we can make a much better business case, especially if it's going to involve asking our boss to purchase additional hardware, upgrades, etc. If we have that quantitative data, you see. It's one thing to feel the system slow, it's another thing to actually prove it quantitatively.